Hey, Mark here, and I have a fun giveaway for you. I have 5 Blu-ray copies of 80 for Brady, and if you'd like one, just message me and be like, hey, Mark, I would like to enter the 80 for Brady raffle, and you might win a Blu-ray copy of it. No guarantees, but it's worth a try. So yeah, bring home 80 for Brady on Blu-ray today. Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda, Rita Moreno, and Sally Field stars 4 best friends who go on an unforgettable journey to see their hero Tom Brady play in Super Bowl 51 in this hilarious comedy about living life to the fullest, no matter your age. Directed by Kyle Marvin, buy 80 for Brady on Blu-ray and get laugh out loud bonus content. Rated PG-13 from Paramount Pictures. Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man whose music makes Vikings scream in pain. It's Niall Moore.
How you doing, Mark?
Good.
I don't know if I'm quite up to what's his name? Lars. Lars is his name. I kept thinking his name was Hansel. I was kind of confusing him with Owen Wilson from Zoolander.
I mean, he looks exactly like him. And the director said something funny. He said Lars was written as Kenny Loggins meets Sting, then meets something worse than that.
I can see the influences. He's the guy who has gone backpacking around Asia and come back and found himself and is retaking their music to another level with a Western spin on it.
East meets West meets just horrifyingly cringe, and he's selling out around the world.
I cannot comment on the musical taste of the Serendipity world, but they don't seem to be great.
What? See, you know what? Okay, I'm so happy you said that. Just because Serendipity doesn't take place in our world. It takes place in rom-com world, where rom-com rules apply, where everyone has plenty of money.
Rom-com things happen.
Yeah, and rom-com things happen. Friends are always available to go on trips with you, even if it means their own marriage or jobs. It's like a world of
that's fine. Nobody has to actually work unless the plot calls for it.
Every producer I've ever worked with has been incredibly stressed out, Niall. And so the fact that John Cusack in this movie is a famous ESPN producer, like when's he working? What's going on here? But
he worked in one scene where he went to the golf range and basically did 5 minutes of work, and that was his day.
The best part of the movie, one of my favorite parts in the movie, is when they call Jeremy Piven and he does the obituaries for the New York Times. And they're like, you haven't done those 3. He's like, well, they'll still be dead tomorrow. So at least we see that there are consequences of being a best friend in a rom-com.
Which is rare.
Has there ever been a movie about best friends in a rom-com who just exist to be there for the hero? There's been spoofs, but has there ever been a side character? See, we're both.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
We need to make it. And I just want to say, you watch this every year. I think it's one of your Christmas watches. This has long been a movie that I love. Like, I love Serendipity because in 2001 I was working in a movie theater. 9/11 happened, and it just sort of everything got rocked. And I remember working in a theater those next few months, and I would have one trash can cleaning up every single theater in like 8 out of 8 theater or 6. I'd bounce between 2 of them. And I was in junior college freshman year, and it was just dead. So then when Serendipity came out, when sort of Training Day came out, I remember feeling that things were getting a little bit back into normal. But watching Serendipity was kind of nice because it's a very, the director will say it too. It's a very conventional film, but it's also stressful because you have a ticking clock with the score. You have, like a clock motif. You have constant near misses. You have fate exploding. You have Eugene Levy getting cut. I don't know. It's a very conventional movie, but it also stressed me out and how fate was just messing with these two so much. But I don't know. It's a weird movie for me. I've always loved it, but it's wildly conventional. But maybe it's the Cusack factor. We talked Grosse Pointe Blank. Maybe Kate Beckinsale said dudes talk to her about this movie all the time because they love Cusack. So I mean, what draws you to this
Yeah,
movie?
it's it's one of those ones. So, as I've said on the pod multiple times, my wife and I have very disparate tastes in movies. But this is one that we can both agree on. It's you know, she loves it because it is, that classic rom-com.
Mm-hmm.
It's not one of these kind of newer. You had American Pie, you had those sort of comedies coming out around that time, like in the late 90s, early 2000s. You had that movement towards the more gross out humor or the more risque, raunchy comedy. This was more of a 90s throwback almost to something like My Best Friend's Wedding, or to one of those mid 90s films where nobody's actually antagonistic to anyone. It's all just fairly friendly, fairly happy, and the plot is kind of moving along, and the couple get together in the end. It's a feel good movie.
90 minutes. And the breakup scenes don't you
Yeah.
don't even see the wedding getting called off. You don't even see Lars getting dumped. Like everything happens off
No,
screen.
there's zero conflict. There's absolutely zero conflict in it.
And
The
as
only
much as
conflict in it is between Jeremy Piven and John Cusack as to whether he should be chasing after this girl in San Francisco or not.
then he just tells him that he's the shit on a plane afterwards because he goes after what his heart tells
Exactly.
him. And I love what you said too, because 2001, there was Saving Silverman, Say It Isn't So, Shallow Hal. There wasn't, American Pie was 99. American Pie 2 came out this year. It just wasn't not another teen movie came out. It wasn't. I know it had Wedding Planner and those kind of films, but it just wasn't a. It was a weird spot. So I think you're right. Serendipity just felt like a blast of old school fresh air, if that makes sense. And I love too what you said. Like
Yeah,
when
for sure.
Harry Met Sally, there's a lot of conflict back and forth, this,
Oh
that,
yeah.
and the other. My best friend's wedding is a stress bomb. I talked about it with my brother on the MFF podcast, and Julia Roberts is incredible, but you're stressed out, man. You're feeling for Cameron Diaz. You're like, let her be. And then this one is just chill. It's I know like Ebert laid
You
into
have
it.
got to feel sorry for you have to feel sorry for Lars and
Oh yeah.
Hallie was her name. Yeah, where they typecast a little bit. They had the same characters in Sex of the City. Not the same characters, but they had the same thing happen to them where they got jilted by a couple that got together
Yeah, they legit got
around
cheated
the
on.
same time. Around the same time too. I think Sex and the City was running from what 2000 on, so it can't have been
Yeah,
too
so
far apart. Where these actors are in this very specific role.
just keep getting dumped. And I, I do feel bad for Hallie because aside from just giving the super a ton of crap, she seems pretty chill with Cusack. His
She's
mind,
very chill.
yeah,
She's super chill. She's noticed his weirdness. She's noticed that he's always looking at this specific book. Yeah, that was a very thoughtful gift that she's given him. The Life and the Times of Cholera book. She noticed that he's always looking at it and remembered that and decided, okay, this is something that would be nice to get for him.
and she and she's like, I want to love you. I just want to be with you. And then he never really talks to her again. But this is rom-com land where there's always a Baxter. Like Liar Liar, you have Carrie Ells. In What You've Got Mail, you have Parker Posey of all people, which is kind of amazing. But there's
Yeah.
always the person that gets dumped. But in this one, I can't think of two less like Lars. He seems to really like
Well, he
Sarah.
was self-involved.
Yeah. I guess that's
he
his
liked the
downfall.
idea of Sarah. He liked her as a bit of arm candy and someone he could take on tour and be convenient for him. But he didn't really seem to care about her that much. It was more about him.
No, that's a good point. When he gets engaged, he immediately goes to call to have a Bora Bora honeymoon. When she's like,
Yes,
"Hey, I
he
have,"
calls his tour manager. And that was ridiculous. I'm not quite sure how the timeline in this movie works either, but she went from being engaged to getting married in 7 days and almost immediately. It was kind of crazy.
yeah. I didn't even know there was a years jump, years and years, 3 years. And originally it was supposed to take place in 1991, but it didn't look like they aged that much. So then they moved it to 97. So it was 91 and when they thought about it, and then they're like, okay, we'll go to 97. So we'll just do a couple years jump. Watching this movie the first time, I didn't even know there was a years jump in it. I thought they were always like, I thought he had a girlfriend and they were going to get married or like fiance. I had no idea years passed. Did you when you first watched it?
Yeah, I think I picked up on it. I I think Eugene Levy's character mentions it that that was X number of years ago, and we don't keep records that old here in the. I thought it was clear though, just from changing hairstyles and clothes a little bit, and it seemed like time had passed. I think they might have done a clock motif thing showing the passing of the seasons as well.
This movie is so undemanding that I don't even think I picked up on any of that because I don't think the wheels are ever spinning. Like I'm not. That's not an insult. This is comfort food. I love this movie. Like I remember when I first met Megan, I would watch Serendipity when she was working on her projects the night before they were due because I would do mine like a week before and just chilling and watching Serendipity. But I feel like there's something to be said for how kind of undemanding it is and how like it's nice. And I didn't even notice that until all the research that there's a big year difference. And also they left a type, like they messed up in the movie because you see on the receipt that's 1990. So they meant to say 10 years went by, but then they just changed it. So the director pointed out a ton of the
To be
flaws in the
fair, they
commentary.
never actually say that it's 2001 either.
Oh, that's true.
So it could have been any time. The thing that does date it is that they digitally removed the World Trade Centers post release,
Yeah, Harvey
which
Weinstein made
would
him do that.
mean that it would have to be 10 years afterwards. They said there were issues with some of the early screenings where it was too raw for people. I think they'd filmed it or screened it at the Toronto Film Festival, within days of 9/11, and it was too much for people to see, that image on the screen rather than everything was too raw.
Yeah, I mean,
So they decided to take them out.
everything changed on September 11th, man. It was a very weird time to live in America during that. So
I bet.
I get why they took it out. I mean, it was a very much so a gut reaction, like a quick fix. But yeah, I mean, I guess that is the one thing that dates it. But yeah, they decided to take it out, and also they reshot the beginning because Kate Beckinsale never explains what serendipity is. Like when she actually goes into explaining it, like a nice sound, a fortunate accident, they didn't have that in the beginning, so they reshot the ending, the beginning, and then they took out that, and that was all because of Harvey Weinstein wanted that. And what's interesting, it was 88 minutes to begin with, and apparently Harvey Weinstein cut movies, but he wanted stuff added for this one, which was odd for the director. So he did not.
Well, it was short.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, does it need to be longer though? Like, does it need to be longer than
I
90
don't
minutes?
think so. I found it was very short today when I put it on to watch it earlier this afternoon. As I was finishing up work, I decided to put it on and rewatch just so that it's freshest in my mind. I went to make some coffee, and by the time I got back, I'd already missed several major plot points. It had just breezed past them, and I was like, "What's happened now? When did this bit happen? How are they already? How have they already left the Serendipity Cafe? How have I missed all of these bits?"
It moves so quick. It's wonderful, and I also love that this is a movie where they're like, all right, let's fly from California to New York. All right, let's just go get tickets to the Waldorf, which is $2,000 to $10,000 a night. Like, there's no like so much fat.
Yeah, I tried to go there.
Oh, did you?
When I was because I was in New York recently, and we were staying not too far from there. So we wanted to go by and see it because we're both fans of the movie. But unfortunately, it is being renovated at the moment. So all there was around it was scaffolding, and it was all covered up.
So that
And
wasn't
then unfortunately, we didn't actually make it to the cafe either, because we had walked from Midtown to Brooklyn Bridge and back, and our feet were killing us.
That's a hike.
Yeah, it was.
You didn't get any of the frozen hot chocolate that they're eating in there that's become famous.
No, we did not get the frozen hot chocolate.
So that wasn't very serendipitousness.
It was
Serendipitous.
not. It was not very serendipitous.
Serendipitous. And what else does he call it? Serendipiosity. Seren. When Cusack calls it,
yeah,
but he does it in such a Cusack way. The
serendipiticity.
But the way he says it, it sounds perfect. The director, Peter Chelsom, was on the commentary and he said that Cusack's the fastest talking actor he's ever worked with. So he can say words like that and you don't hate him. Like, I think if that came out of another actor's mouth, you might not like them. But the way he's talking about serendipitousness and serendipiosity, and he's just going around cheating on his girlfriend.
That's the thing. He's actively looking to go out and cheat.
Yeah.
Right from the very beginning.
To a cool
in one of
woman.
the first scenes, he said he's buying gloves for his girlfriend, and the first thing he does is sees a random British girl at the counter and decides he wants a bit of that rather than the gloves.
These are why
and yet he's likable.
These are why rom-coms are insane. We should not be rooting for this man, because I know everything works out together with the Cool Hand Luke posters, with the $5 bill. Does Molly Shannon steal the tip back?
No. Does she?
Because they have coffee and they have pastries, and she only leaves about like $1.50 or $250 tip. So maybe their whole thing was 10, but I doubt it. A New York fancy patisserie.
Well, in those days, we've had a lot of inflation since then. But
true.
I would still say $1.50 seems a little bit small for a tip for that. But if they had one frozen ice cream thing between them and that was say $8.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I guess just new wave shop owners don't like to tip an exorbitant amount.
Perhaps.
That's an odd subplot that she owns that. The director just threw that in there because he wanted new wave stuff in there. So he wanted traditional Fate and Predestination, but he also wanted to have a new wave vibe with Lars and Molly Shannon. So they're both into the new wave stuff, the very sort of chakras and candles. And so he wanted to have that in there as well as a sort of contrast. But they're never really talked about again.
No, it's almost a throwaway.
Yeah. Have you ever bought those candles, Niall?
I don't believe I have.
Was that why in Korea you'd always disappear to the
bunch
candle
of
shop?
Candles. I do have a bunch of candles around my living room right now. Some of which are for lighting, some of which are not. They're the display candles, which is a whole other thing that I don't understand. That some candles are for display only rather than lighting, and woe betide me if I ever light them and use them for their purpose.
I mean, it's decoration. It's part of the color palette of the home. There's seasonal, there's holiday candles. Just put them out. They look great.
Oh, yeah.
I've embraced the world, Niall. I'm used to it now. So like Christmas, red and green candles. Halloween, black and orange.
We don't do color so much as smells. So we'll buy the autumnal candles for the autumn. You'll have something Christmas themed, which is usually overpriced, but it will smell like cinnamon or nutmeg or something like that.
If Serendipity was a candle, what kind of candle would it be? Because you seem like a candle pro. So I want you to. We're at the local candle shop, and they have a Serendipity themed candle. What would it be?
It's an interesting one. I think you need probably some hints of chocolate in there.
Oh, from Serendipity.
I also, would want maybe a sandalwood, something a little bit more luxurious, where you've got the Waldorf Astoria, you've got Haley's obviously rich. Jonathan at the start, he's shopping for cashmere gloves. Rather, he's not in bargain basement. He is talking to the guy in the Bloomingdale's he went to.
Yeah.
I believe. And when he went back to see Eugene Levy, he was working at the Hermes counter with all those $200 ties and $500 shirts and whatever other nonsense was going on there. So there's definitely a hint of luxury involved.
So chocolate luxury.
And then you need and then you need something probably new wave to offset it.
What's a new wave smell?
Lars, what is the new wave smell? Maybe some incense.
Wow.
turn it into kind of an incensey kind of thing. So you
Chocolate
have a
sandalwood
chocolate
incense.
sandwich. Yes, there you go.
Niall, you need a
Sounds
new job.
absolutely bizarre.
You need to quit your day job and become a candle manufacturer, because I would happily buy this candle.
It's a very strange combination, but I think, at least for me, it hits the right notes for the movie.
Like Lars music.
Yeah, Lars and his, I don't even know what instrument he's playing. It's almost like he's a snake charmer.
I wrote it down. They mention it in the commentary, but I for some reason it's just not stick. They wanted it to be a saxophone, and then they kind of wanted it to be what Yanni played, but then they just went to something completely different. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what it is. And they shot this in July and August in New York City.
Yes, which played hell with those wonderful winter costumes. And
And the fake
I'm sure
snow.
they smelled lovely.
Yeah, just the fake snow. And I mean, that's what every Christmas movie does. I've actually sort of become a connoisseur of fake snow, because sometimes people just take big
Can you
cloth.
tell the provider?
Yeah, I can't name the brand, but sometimes movies will take, there's salt that they do. They'll take a brand of salt. They'll take mashed potatoes, but mashed potatoes looks great, but it becomes a mess on set. They have foam, which is what they use in this suds, but you can see it when it hits them that it's doing that. There's sometimes on Hallmark or cheap Christmas movies, they'll just take a white cloth, like a white snowy looking cloth, and just flap it over a shrub. And so I'm a big fan of fake, like The Shining. Like I think it used salt and something else, and everyone was just getting really sick in there when they were shooting it. So I'm a big fan of fake snow. I just want to let you know that. And I like that they didn't even attempt, because listen, New York in December can get really cold and it can snow, and it's
Yeah.
can be horrifying. So watching them walk around in those outfits, but this isn't our world though. This is the Serendipity rom-com world. So characters can walk around in next to nothing in winter in New York City and be fine just because they're pining for a lost love. That warms them.
Obviously. I mean, you're saying that like it's not what's happening.
I mean, it
You
must be,
sound
right?
incredulous.
I
Well,
think
that, or maybe she's from the north of England, where they also walk around in sub-zero temperatures and next to nothing on. You know, is
that's
also possible.
that's a good point. She might be used to all the wind and cloudy skies. And they originally wanted her to have an American accent on this, but the director said he just wanted a warm performance from her, so he just had her speak with her accent to be more comfortable, which I think was a smart idea.
Well, they had Jennifer Aniston in to look at for it, but she didn't end up wanting to do it at the time because she'd been, I guess, burnt out a little bit from being on a rom-com every week.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, right? I mean, and then she did that Kevin Bacon one. She was in a bunch of like Picture Perfect. She was just doing rom-coms left and right.
Yeah, that's the thing. People are getting typecast in various
Yeah.
roles, and she was one who was just okay. She is the girl for the rom-coms for the next 5 years. Let's throw only those scripts at her, nothing else. She cannot do anything interesting. It is forbidden.
And then she goes and does the good girl, and she tries to kind of shake up her career with Jake Gyllenhaal and Zoe
I quite
Deschanel.
liked her in Horrible Bosses. In the first Horrible Bosses, I thought she was pretty good in that.
Oh, she's hilarious. Aniston has been crushing it for decades now, and it makes me happy. And another thing about this movie that we were just talking about Aniston, I think Kate Beckinsale does have this warmth to her. So she's able to portray this psychiatrist who's intelligent, but also she's sort of driven by fate, which is you're in a rom-com world, so it makes sense. But then what's interesting about this is this isn't like a Shallow Hal. This isn't a wedding planner where you have someone planning the wedding, but then you have the guy getting married. These two hit it off immediately. And then it's just about them finding each other. So it's not, there's no, what's the word? Like You've Got Mail, they're pen pals. There's no Rob Schneider.
Well, I think they were only on the set together for 2 or 3 days total when filming this, because they had so few scenes actually together. Most of it was just about the journey.
Do you think their chemistry was good enough to pull that off? Well, I think it was.
I think so. I totally bought it.
Cusack wanted her for this movie. She came into audition for, I think she came into audition for High Fidelity, but she said she was pregnant at the time. and she
Yeah,
didn't get that role. Then Cusack wanted her later. But I think she adds, there's a lot of sincerity to Kate Beckinsale in this movie. I think there's not an ounce of, Aniston's got some great sarcasm. Like I think what Beckinsale fits like a nice cashmere glove in this movie because she can pull off the sincere. This is a very sincere movie. And so I think she's actually sort of perfect for the role. And I was looking up the box office for this film and it
I thought it
made,
did quite poorly.
but here's the thing though. It made 77 million worldwide and 50 million in the States. But this is a little bit over a month after 9/11. And I'm telling you, theaters were dead. Like we had to cut back on staff. I would just walk around the theater, go pick up 2 things of popcorn from whoever came, go grab this. Like they were the most quiet days. So 50 million at this time is quite a coup for this movie.
Well, potentially people wanted a little bit of feel good escapism.
Exactly. And what's interesting? I love what you said too. This movie does not make you feel bad. I mean, I feel bad for Haley, which
Yeah.
I just that's like my one biggest problem for this movie. But I think aside from her, this movie just sort of exists. You don't think about really anything else. You just kind of do you get stressed out while watching this movie or no?
Not really. I did get a little bit stressed out watching it today because I was trying to figure out the logistics of them getting from Manhattan to San Francisco and back in time for a wedding the next day. I'm sat there going, it's going to take them at least an hour to get to, say, JFK from there. Then they have to go through security and then they have to fly to SFO. And then however long it takes for them to get from SFO, which is in the middle of nowhere, to wherever she lives in San Francisco, which looked like it was kind of out of the ways a little bit, and back to the airport and then back on a red eye. It just seemed
Yeah.
impossible. But they put a throwaway line in saying, if my flight is 10 minutes late, I'll be late for the wedding. So it's covered. It's fine.
They've never dealt with New York traffic. I've been stuck in New York traffic. I've been stuck in San Francisco traffic. Like
Yeah.
but it's around. I bet you in this world, you just sort of walk out a door and you're there because they were taking the subway between every single borough in New York City, and it wasn't a terrible trip for them. So I think
No.
rom-com travel.
Whereas that sounds horrible.
Yeah, but they're like Jumper, like Hayden Christensen from Jumper. I think travel is shortened in rom-com worlds because so much of it takes place around airports and taxis, and the logistics are crazy. So I think maybe time slowed down for them to get together.
Well, the taxis all have the part the Red Sea button that just kind of moves traffic out of their way whenever they need to get somewhere quickly.
And everyone's friendly in New York too. And I do like what the director said. He said that he was not making a documentary, he was making a fairy tale. So he calls Serendipity a fairy tale, which it is. So that's
well, that
why.
makes sense.
Yeah. But you have to like when you watch
Does
this
that
movie,
make Eugene Levy the fairy godfather?
yes, he's the Rowan Atkinson from Love Actually. He's that guy. And I love his line too about when Cusack's like, I will cut you. He's like, you gotta catch me. Like, that's a weird little bit in there. I guess Eugene was going too hot, like too heavy with comedy. And then they calmed it down. But then the director's like, say, catch me. And then he did the double, like the Bond finger up in the air with the gun when they were looking for the files. Like it's a pretty deep bench.
It's a bizarre character.
Yeah. Yeah. And Molly Shannon too. Like there's a odd bit of sort of Cameron Diaz-esque physical comedy when she gets hit with the golf ball, then the golf club. Like that's normally a Cameron Diaz thing.
She gets a golf ball and then a golf club to the head, and then she should probably be concussed. I think if you've taken a golf ball to the head at that speed and then been hit in the head with a golf club, she probably needs to go to a hospital.
Mm-hmm. There's no markings on her face.
No, there would definitely be a bump.
Rom-com violence is different too. So in this world, when you're in the pursuit of a fairy tale lark to get 2 people together and you get hit in the face with a golf club, it just sort of hurts.
Yes. And if you had to punch somebody for some reason or got punched, it wouldn't leave a mark. Besides maybe a tiny little reddening of your cheek, perhaps, if you've been punched, just to show that you've been punched.
Would you want to exist in this world where you like Lars's music, where you Like, is this the music? Is this a world you would want to be in?
I like the travel perks,
Yeah, you
but
would love that.
I'm not so sure about the rest of it.
Yeah, no. I would like to be I would like to have his job though, because he never works. He looks
It
at a
sounds like great
monitor,
fun.
puts some gum on something, and then leaves. And then he witnesses a bunch of Sarahs at the golf place cutting his hair and a guy singing Sarah next to him. Okay, this world, Niall, it's not, this isn't coincidence. This is legitimate fate since it's a fairy tale.
Yeah, so this is the universe trying to get them together.
What happened if they fought it for years? Would the earth collapse unto itself? Would it kill off their spouses? How mean would the universe get? Because the universe wants them together,
You would like to think it wouldn't go too dark,
like Final Destination.
but well, that's the thing. It could be Final Destination. Maybe this is the origin of Final Destination. Two lovers didn't get together, and that's what caused fate to get so angry.
So love is putting them back together and kill.
There you
Whoa,
go.
that's a really good horror movie. Two people are supposed to be together, but they don't know it. So they're like fate, love keeps killing off their people they're dating.
Sounds like the plot of Hancock, particularly, where they're destined to be together, but then they have to live apart to keep their superpowers. But then when they come together, I can't. It's been a while since I've seen that movie, but
Oh, I saw that in Korea when I was living there, when you were out there.
yeah.
So that's the movie we
Something good.
need. Serendipity meets Final Destination.
There you go. The Battle of the Fates.
Serendipity, love kills. No, serendipity, love actually kills. Love actually kills.
Directed by Richard Curtis.
His movies are gnarly, man. We talked about that. We've talked about his movie. We talked about About Time. He'll go for it.
Yeah, for sure.
He does kill in that
There's a
movie.
bit of darkness in there.
Yeah, love actually kills, and it's about love trying to get two people together, and they're fighting it, and they don't know it, but love can't tell them.
And because they're fighting it, love is killing people around them in order to push them together.
Wow.
Until there can be only one, so that love actually kills off everyone on the planet to force them together in a last person on Earth scenario.
I got goosebumps.
Perhaps by way of an asteroid that Bruce Willis and his crew of drillers have to go and save us from.
Somehow they both win a vacation to one of the remotest places on the world, in the world. And then when the asteroid hits,
say Tahiti or
it just misses everything around them. And then it's just them on a well-stocked and fortified and rom-com island. Like the island Channing Tatum
where
and Sandra
rom-com-y things can happen.
Yeah. It'd be like Shotgun Wedding, The Lost City. It would be like Deep Impact meets Serendipity on an island. Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock should be in this movie.
They could be. Channing Tatum would be good.
I want this movie. I know we're joking, but this sounds really wonderful. And I guess the one thing
it could definitely be a bizarre B movie if B movies still existed.
I'm doing it. I'm writing it. I'm gonna make this short. I'm gonna pitch it. So don't steal this idea. It was here first. So let everyone know. Or make us associate producers.
Yeah, I'll take a producer credit. That's fine. And created by as well.
Give us those and cameos.
Based on the, can we have a based on the idea put forward on the Movies, Films, and Flicks podcast?
I mean, that happens on Reddit all the time. And
isn't that what's on Ted Lasso? It's based on the sketches in whatever show it debuted on.
You and I could be the two pilots who missed the rocket, the asteroid, and cause a lot of it to hit Earth. We get most of it, but we don't get enough of it. And that's why we kind of messed up.
Okay. So that's the deep impact influence there. So in Deep Impact, they got the big one, but they missed the little one. So there's still some problems.
Exactly. And Robert Duvall's with us.
Why not? I'd like to hang out with Robert Duvall.
Yeah, let's get him on there. I worked with him on a movie called Jane Mansfield's Car. I never talked to him because I was a stand-in. You're not supposed to talk to the stars, even though they were cool. But I just had
never talk to the talent.
I never had anything. So my thing was, if I didn't have anything to say to somebody, I just wasn't going to say it. Like, there's no point to forcing something. So I just kept my mouth shut. I was like, "How you doing? Good. Good morning. Good morning."
Did your job.
Yeah. Because I don't want them looking at me as a fanboy. I want them to look at me as part of the crew. Jane Mansfield's Car.
Well, that makes sense.
You should watch it. Billy Bob Thornton directed. He's like my favorite.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I was doing some work and they're like, "Hey, Mark, do you want to stand in for Ray Stevenson?" He's a big dude, but we're the same height. so I stood in for him. And then I got the guy who
Is
was
he that
nominated.
thick?
Yeah, he's my height, but he's thicker than me. But the guy who shot All the Pretty Horses, who had an Oscar nomination, shot it. Billy Bob Thornton was chill. Billy Bob Thornton produced, wrote, and directed it, and starred in it. And he gave everyone a speech about how he wanted to be a chill movie. And so, even though stunt stand-ins aren't treated too well, I got to sit there and absorb. Like John Hurt was on it. I stood in for John Hurt one day, and I'd like open my legs
Oh
as wide
wow,
as I could because he's about 5'9". And then, we had Kevin Bacon, Robert Patrick on set. It was huge.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's probably one of my favorite movies I ever worked on. I fell asleep on a roof. The stunt coordinator had to. So that there's a gag in the movie where Billy Bob Thornton and this Francis O'Connor are doing the scene. They're both naked, and then there's a guy staring through the window. So I had to crawl up on a roof and look in just so they could frame me to see if like the framing was good. And then I had to like quickly go down because I don't want to be the guy looking in the window when two people were naked on set. So I just laid there at probably 3 a.m. in the morning, and I fell asleep on a roof. And the stunt coordinator had to hit me with a bottle of water to wake me up, which could have ended horribly.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to have rolled off a roof.
That wouldn't have been very serendipitous. Do you think, quick question, that Kate Beckinsale picks 23 in the elevator because Cusack's from Chicago?
I have no idea. 23, is that Jordan's
Yeah,
number?
Jordan. What do you think?
Maybe. What I found interesting when I watched today was one of the scenes where he was trying to get her number initially was in front of a shop called Thomas Travel, and her second name was Sarah Thomas. It had to have been deliberate.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much. So in my notes, there's so many little deliberate moments in this when, I have another page of notes here. Niall, I take so many notes sometimes, I just sort of lose a few of them. But like, I love like the Cool Hand Luke poster. I love like what other happy accidents do they have when the book that she gives him the book. Like, I don't know, it's kind of fun. Like, but that's such a nice gesture that she gets in the book. And then he's like, cool.
Well, there are lots of little weird things, like the what do you call it, the letting agency that she'd rented the flat with the French dude was next door to Serendipity.
Oh yeah.
And
That's what it was.
that was a near miss with the
Mignon.
two of them. They mignon, like the meat.
That guy was very polite to them. He let them in his loft. He showed them art. He answered all their questions. And Cusack's kind of a butt in this movie. I just want to put that out in the world because he's kind of rude to Mignon.
He is, but he was very nice.
Yeah.
He gave them as much information as he could, showed them his paintings.
This really is a rom-com world. We can just be horrible to nice French painters, and they will still give you all that.
It reminds me of a gag in 30 Rock where they're trying to find Tracy Jordan when he's gone missing, and they go to a pizza restaurant, and the guy helps them out, and then he says, "Now I'm going to go in the back and try to think of more ways I can help you. Let me know if you need anything."
That's this world.
It was exactly like that. Yeah. It's everybody will help you to, though one thing I commented on today was you couldn't do it these days. This is before the global data protection rules came in.
Yeah.
You can't just go and ask these people about random people who used to live there or for their customer records in a shop or any of these things.
Everyone's very obliging. Even Telly, the kid from Kids, Telly from Kids is in this movie as a temp, and he gives them information. It's weird seeing the kid from Kids being a rom-com.
He was the guy that sent them to Mignon.
Yeah, and he knew how to pronounce the name after he gets this speech from Jeremy Piven. This movie's kind of like a treasure hunt mixed with a detective movie, mixed with a rom-com. Do you think John Cusack is good at being? He's not a good dude in this movie, but I don't think I ever disliked him.
That's what he's got about him, though. A lot of the times he plays these slightly morally ambiguous characters, but they're still likable.
That's a great Grosse Pointe Blank killer.
Yeah, exactly. He's a killer, but you're rooting for him.
High fidelity, mopey womanizer.
he's just a grumpy record store owner who seems to get loads of girls.
But you like him. That's
Yeah,
Do you think it's because he's not he was a handsome guy, but he's not Hollywood handsome. Like he's not a Tom Cruise. Like if Tom Cruise played one of these characters, if Tom Cruise was in High
he would
Fidelity,
come across as creepy.
yeah.
He would come across as creepy. Can you imagine Tom Cruise in Serendipity?
No.
He would be creepy.
Get away from him, Kate Beckinsale. Like no, don't let him do that. Get him far away from that. So I think it's the act, like Bruce
Go
Willis.
get a restraining order. He's like super weird.
I won't stop him. Bruce Willis, no. Keanu Reeves, no. Denzel, no. Who else was a big star in 2001? They probably would have put Chris Klein or Jason Biggs in this movie. Let's see.
Yeah.
Out Cole. Let's see. Who else was big around this time? Rob Schneider. No, thank you.
Ben Stiller, I guess.
Oh, that's like There's Something About Mary, but he was weird in that one.
Or Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler, maybe.
Sandler could maybe do it. Sandler's never, like in 50 First States, he gets a woman pregnant, and every day she has to learn she's pregnant. And after the first time I watched that movie, I was like, this is not
That is
right.
quite horrifying.
Yeah. I never thought to myself, I was like, this is not right. But since
I
it's
could
Sandler,
get on board with the just her and showing their life together, but when you're having someone actually wake up pregnant and not knowing who they are, where they are, that's got to mess with someone.
horrifying.
That's messed up.
Horrifying. Vin Diesel?
I don't know. 2000 Vin.
This is
probably
knock
didn't
around
have
guys.
the chops
Vin.
to do it.
No, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Cusack is perfect because he can play a brat, but he can play it. Man, he's so bad to Hallie in this movie. Hallie, she just really likes him.
Yeah, she does.
And her parents like
She's
him.
over the moon, delighted to be getting married, planned this perfect wedding. Everything's going well. She's happy for him to go out on his bachelor party with his buddy. She's gone out the night before saying, oh, she's just going to party and then she's going to come home and jump into bed with him. She sounds great by all accounts.
She takes care of the apartment. He does. I guarantee you, he doesn't do anything in that apartment. The super, she goes and gets the super, and he does it.
Well, he's a producer. He tells other people to do things.
He produces results via other people.
Exactly.
He's good at scheduling handymen into his home. That's why I think this movie walks a very interesting tightrope, because if Tom Cruise is in it, I'm feeling very uncomfortable. If a McConaughey is in it, I don't think that works either. Like, I think this works because of the two leads and because of the fairy tale element.
Well, Kate Beckinsale in this, she, you've already said, she hits just the right balance of warmth and, I guess, emotional intelligence. She seems like she's handling the situations in a mature manner. She doesn't get over the top excited when she's proposed to in that Russian doll box proposal thing with 500 candles. She doesn't freak out. She decides she's going to go to New York and follow faith in a very rational way, even though it might be completely batshit.
Which is lacking from a lot of these movies. How rational she is for such a batshit plan.
Yes. She works it out very, very well. She doesn't just run away. She talks to her fiance and says, oh, I think before our wedding, I should take a little bit of time just to embrace my life. And I think I'll just go to New York, which nobody would bat an eyelid if you said you're going to New York. It's a cool place to go.
Mm-hmm. And they used to live there.
She used to live there.
What does she see in Jonathan Traeger?
Because that I don't know. It's just a spark of chemistry, isn't it?
He chastises her for not knowing Cool Hand Luke. He does go with her plan, though. She sets the rules, and he tries to fight it. And they both press 23. I mean, I guess you don't have to.
Then you had that little kid. I think I would murder that child if a child came into an elevator, regardless of if I was trying to meet Kate Beckinsale on some floor of a hotel or not. If someone came in and pressed all of the buttons, I would be fuming.
You know why this movie works
I
so
would, in
well?
fact, probably get off on the next floor and go across the other side and just get in another lift because I couldn't be having that.
That's what I would have done immediately. The second it went to that one, I would have jumped out and hit another elevator. But you're yelling at the
Yeah.
screen. That's when you know it's a good movie. When you're just going, no, come on. Like this movie, I'm telling you, this movie raises my heart rate when I watch it. It's an odd film, and I get that it's a very stock and traditional rom-com, but like you said, the emotional intelligence of Kate Beckinsale, that's a really neat explanation. Piven calling him on his crap. I mean, they have wonderful chemistry together. That's why he's in this movie. Eugene Levy, all the different characters. I think even Mignon, Eugene Levy, the Bloomingdale's salesman, the different characters are all sort of memorable. And there's no big speeches. There's no 10 things I hate about you speech.
Yeah, there's nobody coming in to break up a wedding, for example, at the end. Though Sarah was ready to do it. She ran in screaming, "Stop." It would have been interesting to see what she was actually going to say after that.
She goes full graduate and picks up a cross and just starts hitting people.
It's one way of going.
And
I think that would be for our other movie.
And that's how she gets cast in Underworld, I would say, that movie. But no, 90 minutes breezes by. It was a success at the time. Kate Beckinsale said that a lot of men talked to her about it because they love Cusack. The director knew exactly what he was doing. He knew he was making a fairy tale. He even took out all the sounds of New York and replaced it he said he used British countryside wind and he used church bells in the background. So if you listen, church bells are kind of ringing. He took out a lot of the noise of New York. When you listen to the score
and made it British.
Yeah, right.
Only in a fairy tale can you see stars in New York City.
Yeah, exactly. You're not seeing anything in New York City. There's the smog like Alan Silvestri's score. You can see stars. Like this is not our world, and he got it. And I think it was the comfort food that people needed. Now, I know Ebert hated it. He said Kate Beckinsale's too smart to be playing someone so dumb. And he also said that this fate is not merely knocking on the doors, entered with a SWAT team and is banging their heads together and administering poppers. John Cusack in what is either a bad career move or temporary insanity. I mean, I just kind of love that they said about it. And someone said that
sounds scathing.
Yeah, he hates this movie. And someone called it a slightly insane version of New York City. But that's what rom-com has been real. This isn't our world. This isn't 70s exploitation movies. This is a rom-com New York. And so I guess you just got to look at it in context.
What rom-coms actually follow the rules of the real world? I don't think there are any.
No, there aren't any. You always have the friends. There's always the Baxter. There's always, airport runs. This is the way it is. And
this one didn't have an airport run, did it?
Well, what's interesting? You think they're going to have the airport run. You think they're going to break up the wedding. And then they just meet at an ice skate rink at the end, which is a nice subversion of tropes. I would say they both run to the airport, but then they both miss each other. They meet in a very calm moment. So I think that, and she throws a glove a very far distance. I just want to let you know that, Niall.
It's an accurate shot. I was quite impressed with how she was able to float it down like that from the distance she was throwing it.
Kate Beck's, man, 20-yard 20-yard glove throw. She's impressive. So, I mean, I think it subverts enough trends. There's no stress. There's no Seth Rogen, Katherine Heigl. The lead, I think you're right. For a movie in 2001, this is a very successful psychiatrist. She's not neurotic. She's not a wedding planner who's goofy this is a very unique 2001 character, I would say.
Well, the character is treated like an adult.
not a manic pixie chick or a flighty Meg Ryan-esque, who was wonderful, but she's an adult.
Very much a trope.
Yeah, we did it. Dude, this was awesome. This was good. Hey, let's do something real quick. Let's do a romantic comedy draft real fast before we get out of here. Let's you and I draft romantic
All right.
comedies, but let's keep it between 2000 and 2005. And I'll let you have
All
first
right.
pick.
2000
And
to
you can pick this movie.
2005. I'm going to go with my. I've already mentioned it on this pod today. Richard Curtis. I'm going to go for Love Actually.
Oh yeah, great pick. I'm sorry, man, but I'm gonna take Serendipity because I adore this movie.
Nice.
All right, what do you got next?
Comes 2000. Let's pick a year. 2002.
Oh
I
man.
know. So there was one. I think it came out in 2003. Actually, go for How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days,
Oh,
which
that's so
I
good.
randomly watched with my mother when I was on a visiting day, checking out the university I ended up going to. It was the only thing playing at the theater, so my mum and I said, "Hey, let's go see this movie," and it was all right.
I mean, it made so much money. The movie made bank. I'm gonna take. Oh man. Oh no, that's 2008. When did this one come out? I'm gonna take. You know what? I'm gonna do Brown Sugar because I like Tay Diggs and I like Sanaa Lathan a lot. I think they have really good chemistry. So I'm gonna take Brown Sugar because I just think she's really good in rom-coms. She needs to do more. And Tay Diggs has been in a bunch of rom-coms, so I'm gonna take that one.
All right, I'm going to go for something a little bit different. Heartbreakers
Oh,
with Sigourney Weaver and Jennifer Love Hewitt.
I'm so jealous.
I don't know if that counts as a rom com, but
You can have it.
it's rom. There's definitely a romance element to it, and it is a comedy,
You
even
got
if
it.
it is about scamming people.
Love Hewitt and Weaver and Hackman and Leota and Lee. They're all on fire, man. They're all so
Yeah,
good.
I
I,
forgot. I forgot Ray Liotta was in it. He's great in it.
I'm gonna take Amelie. It's very whimsical.
Oh, that's Amelie is a good choice.
Yeah.
I liked Amelie.
Yeah, it's a good. All right, so you're on your fourth pick.
I'm gonna go for 2004 this time.
Oh, I got a
Let's
good
see
one. I
what we
hope you
got
don't
this
take it.
year.
Okay, you're on 2004, so I'm safe for
No,
now.
there's not. 2004 was not a good year. Okay, I'll take 50 First Dates, given that we already talked about it
I like that.
on this pod.
And there's a jet ski in it. So you know what? I'll follow up your jet ski pick with Hitch, which is a jet ski, features a jet ski.
Oh yeah,
So I'm gonna
which
do
is a
that.
good one.
Yeah, I'll take
Um,
I'll take that one.
I don't know if I'd want to be riding a jet ski around the Hudson. But
No, definitely not.
it does not seem like you would want to fall off.
Yeah, get me away from there.
Okay, so my last one. Let's try something 2005-ish. Okay, the other one I'm gonna go for is Something's Gotta Give.
Oh,
With Jack Nicholson, Diane Keaton.
big money. That was popular.
It was a good movie.
I'm gonna take Along Came Polly because of the basketball
Oh
scene
yeah.
and the scuba.
No scuba for you. Are you for scuba?
Oh man, so you have Love Actually, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Heartbreakers, 51st Date, Something's Got to Give. I have Serendipity, Brown Sugar, Amelie, Hitch, and Along Came Polly. This is wonderful.
Those
I'm
are
very
some
happy.
pretty balanced squads.
I love it. Well, hey man, where can people find you?
I am at El Nilo on most social things.
I'm traveling all over the world.
I can be found in bars around the world as well at various times.
If you meet Niall, buy him a drink. Do it.
I will totally support that.
All right, man. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining me. This was awesome. And I've been wanting to talk about this movie for a long time, so I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, it's been great.
This
Really
awesome.
appreciate you having me on.
Thank you. So for me, Niall Moore. So for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, and for Niall Moore, this is Movie Sons of Flicks. We'll see you next week.